Yo, YouTube family, what it do? It's your boy D. I'm back with another original classic by me. So, we're gonna get straight into it. And I'm gonna try not to waste too much of y'all's time. If I'm wasting y'all's time, let me know and I'll adjust. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let's go. Let's get back into it. So, I started off with a 2, taking this hair down to wavelength. We originally brought that back down to a 1.5, but I'll hit on that later as I get into his tapers. So I'm gonna do his tapers on his sides, and what I'm going to do is bald it out with my Andes T liners. Me and my guy David are discussing the blasphemy of Dallas, and these folks actually thinking the Mavericks had a chance against the Celtics. Some of y'all ain't gonna like that. We don't care. Life goes on. I'm gonna go in here with my Andes Masters cordless, and I'm gonna start with a 1 open, and I'm going to fade up until I hit the guideline that I feel is where I want this taper to be evened out and leveled out. So right above the ear is kind of where I start that fading, and then I'll jump into my 1.5 guard, and I'll fade up. And I could be wrong, guys. I do apologize. That's either a 1.5 or a 2. So I'm gonna say it's a 2. Then I work my way back down to my 1.5. But I'll start open, middle, close, and I'll do that to make sure the fade is at the length with detail to where it needs to be. So I'll readjust, jump back into it, and yes, that was my 2. So this is my 1.5. We're gonna go in there, and we're gonna go right up under that 2 mark, and we're gonna just fade it out some more. And fading is a key portion of this. If you do not hit on the details, you are going to miss so much. And that's like the biggest part of a haircut. So I just need to make that very clear. So yeah, guys, I'm jumping into this haircut, and I'm not gonna speed it up. I'm gonna probably slow it down just to make sure you guys clearly can understand what's going on through the details and through the process of this haircut. Everybody has their own blueprint. This is my blueprint. Welcome to the D Right Cut Show. If you know, you know. If you don't know, well, tune in. We about to find out. Listen, this is a 1 guard right here. And so what I'm doing is going underneath with that blade, open, middle, or close, and I'm just bumping out those dark heavy lines. Same with this 0 guard. I'm going to go in there with the 0 guard and burst out every little weight line, heavy line, just to make sure it's very much detailed and blended. This gives my client the cut that he's desiring. So therefore, when you're doing that, it works a little bit better. Sometimes I will use my Andes Masters for just detailing a fade, but I really like my Babyliss Low Pro FX. That blade is a little bit longer, and when you turn it to the tip, it can kind of fade it out and detail it a little bit better. As you can see, I'm underneath all of that, kind of just fading out the bottom of that. I will come back through with my guards, 1, 0, 2, and maybe a half, and I will just clean it up and detail it some more. This is making sure that after you've accomplished the cut, you kind of go back through and you hit every little detail, every little mark. You want it to be tapered out, blended out, looking its part. Ultimately, this is kind of how you achieve the look for you and your client, but this gets your client coming back. And you want them to come back, man. You want them to be very, very thrilled about their haircut, excited. In this case, my boy David found out he was getting married. He's proposing, so his wife don't know about this. By the time I drop this, he already proposed. No worries, y'all be hearing this, so you late to the party. You ain't late, but you early, but you late. Anyways, I'm getting behind here, and I'm kind of getting the points of emphasis of the haircut that's going to matter the most by detailing it out. Details matter in a haircut. Every hair is different. Every strand of hair is different. Every type of hair is different. You got to pay attention to the details. As you can see, I pull the skin a lot. I stretch the skin to the max, in which for me it helps create that better look that I'm going for with my cut. And essentially I want my cut to be quality. And so if you can look at it, that is very faded out, very tapered out. So I'm going to skip through this, and I will meet you guys on the next part. Everything I did on that left side, you're going to do on the right side and for the back. So this is a wavelength taper on the side, taper on the back haircut. So I'll be back, guys. Stay tuned. guys, we back. So as you can see, I've started David's hairline, and so like I showed y'all in my other video, when we do content, you want it to be clear as day. You want it to look good, and most importantly, you want your client to feel good. So when I do a hairline, I start from the middle to my left, or middle to my right, and vice versa, and you work your way back around. So that's what I'm doing here. And so I'm gonna take you guys all the way through that, as you can see. So that left side's done. We're gonna make this left side match this right side. So we gotta take that line strictly straight across. And so a lot of times your clients are not gonna have the perfect head, the perfect canvas. That is okay. This is where skill and talent as a barber plays the part. If you do not focus on quality of cuts and getting better, it will affect you. And most importantly, you will not see your development grow within your skill set. And most importantly, everybody wants to be skilled, everybody wants to grow. So you have to be able to do those things. So as I'm working this right side, I got everything pretty meshed up. You cannot see because he's turned to me for my better visuals, but I will make sure you guys see here in a second as I will turn him to you. But before I do that, I'm going to get into the C cups and kind of match them up. As you can see, that left side's looking good. I had to touch it up just to make sure it was even. When matching C cups, you kind of want to use the longer side of the C cup to be your guide to match up. So if the left side's weak but the right side's stronger, start with the right side so that you can easily match the left side. And that means like your C cup formation is not always going to be matching, so you're going to have to adjust. That's what I did here. I didn't adjust too crazy. As you can see, that left side is looking real good. I'm going to go back through. There's a little tip of his hairline on that left towards that left side. I'm going to hit that a little bit more. But when I'm doing my C cups, I always use the end of my blade. So I use the tip of my blade and I kind of guide myself around, having that perfect arch. A lot of times too, that will help with people on lining is pulling the skin. Be sure to pull the skin and stretch the skin. You know, it'll help get that more crispy line. It makes for a better cut, you know. The main thing is quality of cut, and every client wants a quality haircut, man, you know. I don't think people really take that into consideration, but at the end of the day, everyone's different, and your goal may be different from mine as far as cutting hair and cutting my clients. Alright guys, we're nearing the end of this video. I kept it short and simple. Obviously this is a wavelength haircut again with the tapers on the side. What I just used was the OG Walker glass. Let me tell you, if I didn't tell you before, I'm not a fan. I do like the level 3 hairspray. I do like Smash Crispy Blonde spray, but nothing tops this OG Walker glass spray right now. So if you're asking what I'm using, that's what I'm using, guys. But on the back of the hairline, especially on that nape area, and I'm going to use technical terms here, you got to make sure you pull that ear and then make sure it's all perpendicular. So you see how at the top of that lining where it starts to round off before it comes down straight down vertically. I'm following based off where his ear is and kind of just using the tip of my blade to round it off, but pulling the other side of the ear down. That way I can get the perfect line. And I know you guys can see that, but like right above the top where that blade is, that's where I'm focusing on to make sure it looks good. Because again, when cutting hair, you want to make sure everything is symmetrical, on point, and in accordance. It's kind of like a car, bro. I tell people, a car with no oil change is not gonna run right. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of every piece of part of that car, it'll run how it's supposed to. If you do not, therefore you will suffer and it'll be your loss. But these are key points to cutting hair. And so I kind of jumped around in this video. If you're watching this, you've already seen the hairline, so this kind of looks like aftermath. I'm just switching it up just to kind of show you guys, but do a little bit of extra detailing. Therefore, so when you get the end look of this cut, you'll kind of understand what we're working with. And I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so that you guys kind of don't have to sit there and watch too much of that. Boom, as you see, we got the end of the haircut. My client did keep it natural. This is not a too crazy cut, but this is exactly what he wanted. And sometimes that is the goal, nothing more, nothing less. Some people will go overboard. Me, I like to keep it simple. I don't really want to go too crazy with things. That's how you kind of overdo it and then maybe decline in the process. So as you can see, everything's looking good, everything's on point. Didn't miss a step. Client's happy, satisfied. And we get to go home. You know, we'll see him in 2 weeks, and that's that. Oh yeah, guys, it's the end of the video. Appreciate you for tuning in. It's your boy D. Right Cut. You know what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. For sure.